So as you know by now, they are going to be redoing the whole Daredevil Born Again. Because what they put out before, apparently the executives and Kevin Feige and them looked at it, asked them if they're mad and they're mad and they're behind, and decided to cancel the whole thing and tell them start over and make it good. Because this is what was happening when they just were giving people blank checks to write and produce whatever garbage they wanted. That's what happened with Echo. They almost canceled that completely. But they said, you know what, let's just drop all the episodes at once and say, well, that'll be good enough. Nobody will know. So yeah, that's what they were doing. Now, one of the worst kept secrets that the MCU has had is that Punisher, played by JON BERNTHAL, is going to be in the Daredevil Born Again series. That's what is going to actually happen. So he's going to be in it. We don't know if it's going to be like, he's going to be there long term. We're going to make it a short cameo, but he's going to be in there. But apparently, they have decided to adapt one of the worst eye-rolling moments from Punisher comics and put it into this series. And I don't know if it's going to be a short, little thing they're going to be doing in one of the episodes. If it is going to be like a long thing, but if you're a comic book fan and you know what I'm talking about, what's going to happen, you're going to be rolling your eyes because it was such nonsense that it actually kind of pissed off a lot of people, and you kind of understood the reason why Marvel was doing it, but I will get into a little later on. But let's get into this one here from Bounding into Comics. New Daredevil Born Again set photos confirm series will adapt storyline where Punisher confronts police officers for using his logo. Okay. That didn't work in the comics, but why not? Frank Castle is known for taking down drug dealers, mob bosses, violent criminals, and now with Daredevil Born Again, police officers. Yeah, that'll work out. The Punisher has a long-standing history of being one of Marvel's most popular characters, and his logo is known the world over by both comic book fans and regular audiences alike. However, over that time period, a number of industry professionals, including some former Punisher creators, have grown resentful of certain individuals who have taken to wearing his logo, mainly right-wingers and police officers. The logo looks freaking cool. That's the thing about Punisher's logo. It looks badass. I had a Punisher jersey as well. Looked really good. Up to yesterday, I saw somebody wearing a Punisher jersey. It just looks really cool. That's why people use it. That's all. But they have a problem with every freaking thing. Last year, after reportedly going through half of the footage from the then 18-episode show while production on the series was on hiatus due to the SAG-AFTRA strikes, reports claim that Marvel Studio executives as well as their head honcho Kevin Feige had chosen to take Daredevil Born Again back to the drawing board. Translation, they saw it, realized what a colossal pile of horse manure it was, decided, you know what, we cannot put out this nonsense, go back, do it over and do it better. End of translation right there. In light of this revamp, recent months have seen various set photos from the Disney Plus series leak online, all of which have given glimpses into the Man Without Fear's new direction. To this end, a new set of leaked photos depicting actor Jeremy Earl in character as police officer Cole North wearing a Punisher logo spray painted on his tactical gear. Notably, North's fashion choice appears to confirm a previous rumor that suggested Daredevil Born Again would see Disney bring to life the Punisher comic book storyline wherein Frank confronts and lambasts police officers who are fans of his work. Okay, so these are the pictures of him here in this. Now, let me be perfectly honest with you. Straight up. I don't think, well, three things. One, I don't think any actual police officer would spray paint a Punisher logo onto their tactical outfit like that. I don't think that makes any kind of sense because the Punisher is a vigilante. He's what you would call an anti-hero, but basically speaking, Frank Castle is a mass murderer psychopath. I mean, we understand, don't get me wrong, he's not out there killing innocent people. No, he's killing scumbags, criminals, murderers, rapists, you name it, that's what he's doing. Okay. But he is a criminal at the end of the day. And what common sense would it make for a police officer who is supposed to protect and serve to be out there with a Punisher logo spray painted on the front of his tactical uniform, because there's supposed to be something marked police there, because you're supposed to have identifying markers to say that you are a police officer. Now, it's one thing if he had a little patch of a Punisher logo on his shoulder or something. That's different, because there are members of the military who do it. There are members in the police who do it. And I don't think it's anything to do with anybody supporting the Punisher. It's just a badass logo that shows kind of, camaraderie between certain units and things like that. But when you're walking around with that spray painted on your chest, that is just going a little too far, in my opinion. And you could tell that Disney is trying to push some kind of agenda by having that up there. You can tell that. I don't think any police officer would ever do that. That's going to the extreme. That's just me, going to the extreme. Now, let me give you a little bit of background on what happened in the comic that it did this off of it. In 2017's The Punisher Volume 12, as written by Becky Cloonan, one of the worst comic book writers ever, a scene occurs in which Frank, after finding that a number of cops are looking up to him as a heroic symbol, rips a Punisher sticker off of his squad car before chastising the officers for their fanaticism. This is what Frank had to say. "I'll only say this once," he tells the boys in blue. "We're not the same. You took an oath to uphold the law. You help people. I gave that up a long time ago. You don't do what I do. Nobody does. You don't need you boys need a role model. His name is Captain America, and he'd be happy to have you." This is the image of it here and whatnot. Now let me just say this. Throughout Punisher's running comic book, I shouldn't say throughout, but certain times of Punisher's running comic book, there have been police officers who have agreed with the things he's done, because some of the worst scum Frank Castle takes on, because Frank Castle doesn't have any, "I'm going to arrest you and put you in jail." No, he literally will just kill you. That's the thing about it. That's why they're also terrified of him, because he ain't putting you in jail, he's sending you to the flicking morgue. That's it. And once or twice there have been police officers, as I say, who have agreed with him. Some have even kind of, looked the other way and let him escape once or twice. It happens. You understand me? But to say that, okay, they're going to have some kind of fan club with him and want to take selfies and this kind of thing. I mean, they may put a Punisher sticker on something, or they may have, like I said, tactical, where they may have a Punisher sticker on it. I don't think it means that they're worshipping him or making him out to be some kind of hero. They just find the thing looks cool, and that's about it. But the reason why this whole thing happened, right? The reason why this whole thing happened, the reason why they did this whole thing with Punisher doing all of this, is because they had a problem with Marvel, and them had a problem with a bunch of nut jobs. What a problem with the police using the symbol, the army using the symbol. The thing is, there were members of the army who were in Iraq who had coins made. Some of them had little patches made. Police have done it. This has nothing to do with anybody supporting the Punisher. It's a cool symbol. People like it. It's a memorable symbol. And I would think as creators and people who wear it, you would say this, well, you know what? I am proud to know that this symbol is going around with so many people. But no, when people you like use it, you don't have a problem. But God forbid the people who protect and serve your ungrateful rear end ever decide to use this symbol. No, you have a massive problem with that, because you have a massive problem with everything. Continue on. The Punisher's newfound hatred of police officers mirrors the sentiments of his creator, Jerry Conway. Yeah, I mean, in fact, in the matter, Jerry Conway kind of lost his goddamn mind, to be honest with you. That's the way to put. In a 2019 interview with Sci-Fi, Conway asserted that he found it disturbing whenever authority figures embrace Punisher iconography, because in his view, the existence of the anti-hero represented a failure of the justice system. This is what Jerry Conway had to say. He's supposed to indict the collapse of social moral authority and the reality that some people can't depend on institutions like the police or the military to act in a just and capable way. The vigilante anti-hero is fundamentally a critique of the justice system, an example of social failure. So when cops put Punisher skulls on their cars, or members of the military wear Punisher skull patches, they're basically sides with an enemy of the system. That's crap. It's absolutely crap. And I wholeheartedly reject Jerry Conway. Well, but like I say, Jerry Conway kind of lost his damn mind a little while back, because he was talking about only Punisher should be black and all kind of craziness. It's a cool symbol, that's it. Just because somebody's wearing this symbol doesn't mean that, they've sided with the Punisher. Has nothing to do with it. I mean, you're not going to see police officers put on the Punisher symbol and go out there shooting people, killing. That's not going to happen. If a bad cop does something and they have the Punisher symbol, well, that doesn't mean that the Punisher symbol drove them to do it. They're just a bad cop, that's all. But you don't seem to understand that and want to act like, well, just because they wear that somehow social, that somehow represents some kind of failure of the justice system. Oh God, Jerry Conway, come on. It goes without saying, he concluded, in a way it's an offense as putting it's as offensive as putting a Confederate flag on a government building. I'm not even going to read anymore what Jerry Conway has to say, because I think Jerry Conway really needs some help, because even when they said that, a year later, Conway announced he's starting a project to reclaim the Punisher skull logo from the police and military members who co-opted it. Started some kind of thing about raising funds for BLM and all kind of thing. I wonder how that worked out, Jerry Conway. Oh yeah. I go on about, but let me get to what it is I wanted to talk about. That Chuck Dixon had a take on it that actually makes sense. This is what Chuck Dixon had to say. Right. As to why people running Marvel Comics today hold a deep-seated hatred for the Punisher and his fan base, comics legend Chuck Dixon, who himself has penned a number of the anti-heroes adventures, including the Punisher Volume 2 and the Punisher Warzone Volume 1, as previously explained. They have contempt for the Punisher, this new crowd of editors. In addition to their contempt for the Punisher, I think this current crop of editors has a deep-seated dislike of the police and the military as well. So it's the whole gang of deplorables thing, told the interview. They don't want to deal with them, and they don't like the idea that they use this symbol. And I think they don't quite understand why the police and military adopted the Punisher symbol. So now that he's carrying samurai swords now, making it a frank business, because they are embarrassed. They are embarrassed to be associated with people who probably don't share their worldview, and that's really as simple as it gets. In recent years, the Punisher logo has been altered due to right-wing Americans adopting the logo, and it looks like this arc will be adopted into the upcoming Disney series. What a load of garbage. That is something. I think what Chuck Dixon says here that they don't like it is very true. These people have this belief that, once you're using... Okay, they don't like the military, they don't like the police. And these are the people who serve, who protect and serve to keep them safe so they can be free to run around spouting all the nonsense that they want. But because they keep getting brainwashed into believing that anything that doesn't align with their own twisted views is wrong, they go out and do things like this. The Punisher logo is a cool symbol. It's really badass. People love it. That's it. The fact that you're going to have Frank Castle lambasting officers for using his symbol in the Daredevil Born Again series is just ridiculous. It's probably going to piss people off. Now, if it's a small cameo, that's a little quick thing, people might be like, okay, you know what? Not my cup of tea, but I'll still keep watching it. But if they turn it into a long, drawn-out, stretched-out nonsense, fans are going to get fed up really fast, and they're going to tune out from it. So that's Disney's big thing here. If they want to do a short little cameo or something, people aren't going to like it, but they may say, you know what, okay, fine, and move on. They try to drag it out. People are going to drop Daredevil Born Again before he could even be born again. Honestly. And considering what they did to Kingpin in Hawkeye and in Echo, that's already a steep hill to go up, because people have not forgotten that. But we shall wait and see what this all turns out to be. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. I have a different opinion. I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, should hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.